organic first, and then you add paid on top, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Because like I said, the best leads are going to get aware of your business through paid, but then they're going to go to your organic and your social and your website to justify or reaffirm the initial beliefs they saw inside your ad. And if it's all consistent and it all looks polished and it's all well done, the higher the likelihood that person's going to opt in and actually become a lead.
You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merritt.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? So today I wanted to talk about kind of when it doesn't work out with a client that works with Lasso. What are kind of the common denominators I'm finding amongst our clients, and really kind of speaking to, in an ideal world, what needs to be in place to really take full advantage of the benefits of paid advertising. And then if some of these things aren't in place for your business, how we create leverage for you, whether it's through strategic partnerships with mentorship companies, website developers, software developers, resources we have internally, how we try to create leverage for you to try to get you to a solid foundation as quickly as possible so you can see a lot of success in paid advertising. And then the last piece of how I'm going to finish this up is talking about if you're trying to bring a new concept to the market, give you a realistic expectation on timeline, ad budget, what to expect in terms of conversions, all of those things, just so you can get your concept off the ground reliably and successfully. Okay, so let's just start with the first part of the conversation. The best way to think about paid advertising in your business is it's an amplifier. So if you have a lot of good systems, a solid foundation, good playbooks, you've maybe worked with mentorship companies, and you got a really strong organic marketing game, chances are paid ads are going to amplify a lot of those aspects of your business, because all we're doing is just adding more fuel to the fire. Okay. Now, on the flip side, if your business isn't built on a strong foundation of SEO optimized website, we have a CRM system for lead nurture, we have playbooks for staff, we have a good sales process or a decent sales process, right? All we're doing is going to be amplifying broken systems within your business, and you're going to get really, really frustrated as to why you're not seeing an ROI on ad spend. Okay. So the common denominators I see with businesses that don't tend to work out well within Lasso pretty much comes down to, I would say, three things. Number one, you don't have a solid foundation, right? Like there's holes in your bucket that we need to fix before we add paid ads on top of it. And again, like if those things don't exist, we've created a library of resources to try to fix those problems for you as quickly as possible, because we understand you can't wait a year to get this stuff done. Ideally, you could probably solve a lot of these things within like 3 to 4 weeks, and then we can get to the paid advertising part of the discussion. Okay. The second thing is mindset around what success looks like. So what I mean by that is, we always talk about this all the time at Lasso, is like if you're coming to us to try to save your business, that's already an early indication that there's broken systems within your business that you probably need to revisit before you come to us. So we're not the people that are going to save your business through marketing. We're just going to be putting more leads into a broken sales and operations system, right, inside of your business. So that's not going to work out well for you. It's very unlikely it's going to work out well for you. Or the second part is just trying to, again, going back to this direct lead attribution, where if you still have the mindset of the Alex Hormozy days of like, I got $5 leads and there's direct lead attribution between like them opting in on Facebook and me closing deals, again, you're going to get really, really frustrated. And I still have this conversation with our clients all the time of like, you guys, like, paid ads are one way that people are getting exposure into your business. But if you think about how people buy very expensive services, it's very unlikely they're going to buy it directly through Facebook. Yeah, if I see a $29 widget that makes my iPhone stand up and be cool, like That's an easy purchase for me. It doesn't take a whole lot of know, like, and trust factor for me to make that decision and know exactly what I'm buying. If I'm buying a $400 personal training membership at a gym, it's highly unlikely I'm just going to opt in on Facebook, be like, yes, sign me up now, I'm ready to go. Only because it's more expensive. I don't know who you are, and you need to prove to me that you're valuable and that I can trust you before I make a purchase of that magnitude. It's like trying to buy, like, let's take it to like an extreme version. If I was buying a $70,000 Mercedes, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm just going to buy it online and I'll just have it dropped off at my house and I hope it all works well. Absolutely not. I'm going to drive to the dealership. I'm going to test drive a few different versions of it. Make sure I know exactly what I'm purchasing, because a purchase of that magnitude, I want to be highly certain it's exactly what I want. It's no different in fitness. It's just on a smaller scale. So understand that when we run paid ads, the best clients or leads are going to see the ad. They're going to go to your website. They're going to go to your social media. They're going to look at all these things to look for consistency, so they know exactly whether or not they can trust you. And then if they opt into your website after seeing your ad, you're going to get this notification of like, hey, you got a new lead in your system. Like, okay, cool. Like, they found me on Google. Maybe, or they saw your Facebook ad and they said, okay, that looks interesting. Let me do some research, see what am I purchasing? What am I getting myself into? And then opting in through the website, right? So it's people who try to get too cute with ROAS and direct lead attribution. You're going to get frustrated because you're not seeing ROI. But when we show you, like, well, before you started running paid ads, you were averaging, I'm just going to make numbers up, 20 leads and 4 conversions, and now you're at 60 leads and 12 conversions. I hate to tell you guys or be blunt about this, but it's not because all of a sudden your organic, your website, your Bring a Friend weeks got that much better. It's not. That's not the reason. So stop trying to be cute with direct lead attribution, because you're just telling yourself a story that's not true. And you're like, well, the ROI is not there. But as soon as we shut off leads, everything slows down, right? Like, oh, the website traffic's now a lot lower. Oh, like the referrals are a lot lower. All of that stuff typically happens across everybody who leaves, after they leave paid marketing. Not to say like we're perfect and we don't mess up sometimes. We 100% do. But people who are like, yeah, I'm just not seeing the return on investment. It's like, no, it's because you're only trying to have the Alex Hormozi gym launch 2017, 2018 mindset of like, oh, they purchased this, now they're this. Guys, market's changed, especially in fitness, so much more competitive. Everybody's running paid ads. That's not how people make purchases like that anymore, okay? So the last thing too is just general mindset about business. Like, not everybody wants to build empires, you guys, and I understand that. But at the same time, if you have a hobbyist mindset about your business, like you're like, hey, this is still kind of like a treehouse kind of club type feel, and we keep it pretty loose around here, and we're not like doing things like tracking metrics, setting budgets, having hard conversations, developing ourselves as leaders. Again, there's going to be frustration around like, you're not seeing value in this because it is time, it is investment. It does take a while for it to really pick up steam within your business. So if you're just like, yeah, like this will be fun to do for a few months just to see what happens, I'm like, that's not strategic, like high level business thinking. That's just, you're frustrated about your current state. You're going to try something for a little bit, just see if it picks up steam, but you're not willing to look at the things that actually matter, like metrics and, staff development around sales and, allocating a certain amount of money and time to make sure that like this is seen as an investment and not a cost. Those things are going to typically not lead to like good outcomes in terms of working with any type of marketing agency, let alone Lasso. Okay. So those are usually the issues that we see. Going one layer deeper, if I were to give you guys a list of things that need to be true about your business in order for you to see great success or have a high probability of success, number one is you want a really strong foundation of website is SEO optimized. People are able to find you easily. It tells your story. It speaks to your direct client avatar, and you can use resources like PushPress and Kilo and Big Little Gyms, and they'll stamp out these websites for you. Or you can go to someone like Trey over at SiteFit who will build you something that's a little bit more optimized. It's not necessarily like directly connected to a CRM system like Go High Level, but in terms of like SEO optimization and just infrastructure, it's one of the best providers out there. So like we have resources that we can refer you to for a few $100s a month that can build that for you. You need a CRM system with automations. I don't care if like like you don't know how to use it. I don't need you to be like a master in how to use a CRM system. But if we're putting 50 to 60 leads inside of your funnel and you're an owner, operator, gym owner, it is highly unlikely you're going to have enough time to produce the amount of touch points that are necessary to turn cold traffic into warm leads into actual customers. So you need a CRM system that provides you leverage in terms of touch points to leads. Okay. In an ideal world, you have some sort of playbooks and SOPs for your staff, not only how to operate the gym, but how to have sales conversations and consultations. If you don't have those, I would highly recommend you reach out to Best Hour of the Day, Two Brain Business, whatever mentorship companies you want to work with, Gym Builder Network and Evan Lindsay, in order to build those systems out so that when we pour more fuel on the fire, those systems are working optimally to be able to handle the amount of people that we're going to be pushing through the system, right? And then the last thing is just making sure you're not month to month on whether or not you're profitable or not. Like there does need to be a certain amount of bandwidth and financial resources available in order to make this investment long term. Like this isn't meant to be like, hey, I happen to have $1,000 left over this month. Let's get into paid advertising. Because as soon as you go through a bad month, which we all do due to seasonality, you're going to feel that pinch, and all of a sudden you're like, we got to cut back. It's just not working. And as soon as we turn that machine off, literally all the time and effort you put into it will be of waste. Okay. Like, so make sure you have enough runway to make at least a 12-month investment in this kind of stuff. We only have a 6-month initial contract because we understand that you guys don't fully trust us and you want to make sure it works long-term before you go full all in with us. I get that. Totally get that. But really, like, even without a 12-month contract, I need you guys to have a 12-month mindset in terms of wanting to work with us, okay? You guys need to have basic organic plays already established. Stu Brower talks about this all the time. Organic first, and then you add paid on top, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Because like I said, the best leads are going to get aware of your business through paid, but then they're going to go to your organic and your social and your website to justify or reaffirm the initial beliefs they saw inside your ad. And if it's all consistent and it all looks polished and it's all well done, the higher the likelihood that person's going to opt in and actually become a lead inside of your business. So make sure you guys you have resources today like Snapper, where you can hire a professional photographer on retainer or on like a monthly recurring to come in and grab professional photos. You can leverage integrations within Go High Level to feed into your social media platforms, whether it's like Facebook, Google My Business, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You have those already built out and they will automatically feed for you. So you can, between ChatGPT and a professional photographer, you guys can create a quarter or half a year's worth of content within a few hours. And Stu Brower within his university, right? His Micro Gym University. Sorry. He has all this material laid out for you to be able to do this, to say, hey, like, learn how to do this process. It's very simple. It's very cost effective. You guys can easily implement that before you jump into paying an agency $1,000 to run paid ads for you. Okay. You also need to be having referrals and reactivation programs already established. Like, those are easy pickups for you to create a solid foundation of hey, we have leads coming in and the business can grow to a pretty steady, let's call it $24,000 to $25,000 per year before we even need to be thinking about paid advertising. Those are the plays that create that stability for you within your business. And then obviously just make sure your Google My Business and Yelp business pages are optimized. People are going to be typing in fitness near me, gym near me, CrossFit near me, group fitness near me, personal trainer near me. Make sure you have those services listed. It's all accurate. You got photos in there. You're updating it maybe once a month, once a quarter. Those are all easy things that you guys can do that creates leverage for you when it comes to paid ads. And then the last thing, you do need to have an idea of what your numbers are. You need to be tracking revenue, costs, profit, know how to look at a P&L statement. You need to, you need to be tracking like how many leads am I getting? How many are we closing? Where is it breaking down in our sales funnel between like appointment set, appointment show? Like all of that kind of needs to be in place, okay, before paid ads can get very, very valuable for you. Here's the good news. I also understand that a lot of business owners, they are constrained by both money and time. So the way I think about it is like, okay, cool. Here are all the things that need to be true inside of your business in order to be highly successful with paid advertising. What can I provide these gym owners that creates leverage for them in terms of their time? Because I understand we don't have all the money in the world. Okay. And if you don't have money, that means you have to rely on your time to either learn the skill if you can't outsource and pay someone to do the skill for you. So how can I create leverage for you? So here at Lasso, we've built a library of resources that allow you to solve these foundational problems quickly, whether that's referring you to a mentorship company, referring you to a website or lead nurture provider. If you need a white labeled Go high level chassis, we have our own that you can use if you don't want to work with like push press or kilo or big little gyms. We have templates on how to set up referral bonus structures. We have templates on how to set up reactivation campaigns. We have templates on how to optimize your Google My Business listing. Like all of that stuff exists. We even have like a metric tracker that we use in partnership with the Gym Builder Network that allows you to track your metrics so you kind of know where you're at. Like all of that stuff we've created because we understand that it's hard for the gym owner sometimes if they don't have a lot of time to piece those things together. So our goal is to get you from not having anything to having a pretty decent foundation within 3 to 4 weeks so that when we turn on paid ads, all of that stuff is built well for you. Okay. It sounds like it can be a lot of work, but honestly, if you just follow our like pre-ad checklist of things that need to be in place for you to be highly successful, the odds of you having a good experience with paid advertising will go up exponentially. Okay. So that's what I want to say on resources and things that need to be true in order for you to be highly successful with paid ads. Going into like lead attribution and business mindset, we'll talk about those things on our consultation call so that like, not to say like we're interviewing you, but like we're going to get out ahead of like, hey, I need you to understand that if you're just going to be obsessed with tracking how many leads only came in through Facebook and how that ties directly into revenue, you're going to be frustrated by the outcomes of this entire endeavor. And I would much rather we not do business together because you're going to hold me accountable to a standard that doesn't accurately portray the value that we're providing. So like it's already a lose situation at the end of the day. So I'd rather just not go through it, right? The other thing I will say is if you're of the mindset of complacency, you are also like, I'm happy with just where we're at and I don't necessarily am looking to grow. You probably don't need paid advertising to its fullest extent. You may need it in terms of like a little bit of maintenance, but if the mindset is I'm not willing to develop myself as a leader and help people grow and establish systems and make my business better, and I'm not willing to take extreme ownership of the outcomes of my business, paid advertising is not going to be a good fit for you. Okay, I'm just saying that up front because it takes a certain mindset and tenacity and drive to want to understand how to make this like a long-term investment within your business. And that takes clarity, leadership, vision on where you're trying to take your business. Okay. It's not a last Hail Mary hope. It's more of an amplifier to get you to the next level. Okay. So a lot of this is mindset. How I'm going to wrap this up, you guys, real quick, is talking about in regards to fitness franchises. Okay. Or just like you want to launch your own concept in general. Here's the thing. We're all very passionate about our concept. I'm passionate about what we do inside of my gym, right? It's not as special as you think it is. It's not going to be this groundbreaking thing where people all of a sudden are going to turn around like, oh my God, you're doing the 6 primal movements better than the other things that are out there. Or you're doing Pilates slightly differently than what's out there. Or because you added a spin class to a strength class, that all of a sudden people's minds are going to be blown and say like, oh my goodness, I've never seen that before. That sounds super cool. Guys, market is saturated. Completely saturated. In fact, I would argue that we're probably in a bubble of fitness concepts inside in terms of what the United States of America can support right now. Okay. They're everywhere. Okay. And so as much as I would like to say my thing is super special, it's not. It's just a different version of what's already out there. So if I'm trying to expand my locations, or I'm trying to like build a much wider network within, my portfolio of concepts, it's going to take a lot of effort and it's going to take a lot of money for eyeballs to get on your business. Like, you're stepping into a very competitive arena, and where you're going to win is how can I get eyeballs on my business quicker and more often than my next best competitor, right? So, I mean, we've worked with different franchises in the past, and there's a direct correlation between the amount of leads they were able to generate and what their grand opening numbers were when they launched. And so if you think about it, like, the easiest way to get more eyeballs on your business is through paid marketing, because you're gonna get a lot more access to people versus if you're doing like a tabling event or pop-up workout. There's only maybe like 20 to 30 people that are going to see you. Maybe tabling, let's push it to like 50 to 100 people. We're going to cover 100 impressions in probably a few hours of paid marketing at any given time. So if you're running that on a 3 to 4 month timeline, the higher the likelihood you're going to have more leads coming in through the top of the funnel, which leads to a better pre-opening or opening for you in terms of total members. Okay. Not to say you're only relying on paid advertising, but it has to be there, and it has to be somewhere to the tune of $4,000 to $6,000 per month. Okay, depending on what market you're in. That's what it takes to launch successful concepts these days. It's not this like, I'm going to start with $500 and see how it goes. I'm going to start with $2,000 and see how it goes. Like, guys, like, it's just too competitive out there. And if the alternative is I need to spend my time going up to different coffee shops and breweries and doing tabling events to get in front of people, I can almost guarantee you are not going to launch the way you think you are, right? We've done a lot of different launches with, the metabolics, the X4s, a couple of like different concepts. And there is a direct correlation between how much money are you willing to invest to get eyeballs on your business that feeds into your tabling events and pop-up workouts and conversations that lead to a higher pre-opening number in terms of total members. It all works together. But if you have the mindset of like, I'm not willing to spend the money on the front end for marketing, yeah, you're not going to have a fun time when it comes to pre-opening. Okay. So instead of thinking smaller, I need you to be thinking to the tune of $20,000 to $30,000 in pre-opening marketing spend across all your channels. Paid marketing, tabling, hard flyers, mailers, all of that stuff needs to be true in order for you to successfully launch. So whenever we've worked with a franchisee or somebody who's trying to open up multiple locations, they're like, yeah, my marketing budget's $5,000 over the next 3 months. I can tell you it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. Like, unless you're the only person in your market, which we worked with X4 Calhoun, and they were the only people in their market. And yeah, they had a really solid opening with a pretty small budget. But I'm talking about like the average gym owner who has a location that's probably competing with a few other different concepts. You need to be thinking bigger in terms of investment on marketing. Okay. That's where I'm going to leave you guys today. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a rant. The big takeaways I want you guys to understand is like, to be successful in paid ads, it's an amplifier. So make sure you have the foundational pieces in place and make sure you have the right mindset. If you have the right mindset and you don't have the same foundational pieces in place, at Lasso, we have a library of resources that we can give you that will get you from zero to decent really, really quickly. Whether that's referring you out to a Stu Brower or referring you out to a Two Brain Business, or referring you out to Trey over at SiteFit or the folks over at Push Press, like whatever it is, like it's like, okay, like let's get these pieces in place before we start paid ads so you can be highly successful. And then if you are a franchise or you're trying to expand to multiple locations, you need to start itemizing or having a bigger line item for marketing within your budget for expansion, because that is what it takes to compete in 2025, guys. We're not in the days of like, if I build it, they will come. I slap CrossFit on the top of the door and like people are just going to show up in droves. The world doesn't work that way anymore, guys. We are in a very saturated market of fitness concepts. And I'm sure you've thought a lot about your concept, as I have done with mine. And I love what we do here at my gym. I also know it's not as special as I think it is. And even though I've put blood, sweat, and tears into developing it, the average consumer isn't going to know the difference. So I got to figure out a way to get out in front of them quicker in order to compete against people that are similar to what I do. Okay. With that, you guys have a great rest of your week. And I'll be back soon. Later.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.